Respected leaders do this daily. Do you? Hi, I'm leadership development coach Kathy Archer and author of best-selling book, Mastering Confidence. And I know that many women leaders hit a point in their career where they feel they are in over their heads, wondering if they have what it takes to lead. In my courses and my coaching and in my book, I give women the inner and outer tools so that they can restore their lost confidence and move from surviving to thriving in both their leadership and their life. Today, we are talking about what respected leaders do every single day. And so before we get into that, I'm going to pop on over and share today's broadcast into my Confident Women Leaders group. I hope that you're in that group. And if you are not, there's a link here for you to, I think it's on this side, a link for you to join. While I'm getting this into the group, what I want you to answer me today is, did you know, yes or no in the comments, did you know that today is International Women's Day? Did you know that? It is. And so I think two things about International Women's Day. One is I think it's a great opportunity for us to celebrate and acknowledge that we are women leaders and that we are on a journey of growing and developing ourselves. Second thing that I think I just want to comment is it's a little bit sad that we have to have a Women's Day. What happened to Men's Day? And so I am not a, real strong feminist. I think that we all need to grow and develop ourselves. And so great that we have a day to celebrate, and let's just all celebrate who we are all of the time and grow and develop ourselves all of the time. So that's that piece. Today we are talking about respected leaders do this daily. Before I get into that again, I want to just say, if you are in the Confident Women Leaders group, make sure you check out the 7-day challenge that's coming up. And if you're not in the Confident Women Leaders group and you want to join the challenge, join the group, and then you can join the challenge. It is a strengthening our community challenge. So we all know that it takes a whole community to raise a child. It also takes a whole community to grow a leader, a community of other women, other people supporting that leader and developing them. And so our Confident Women Leaders community is something that we also have to strengthen and grow and develop. And so I've got a 7-day challenge. It's a fun challenge where we get to chat and communicate and talk about 4 main themes over next week. So if that's something you want to do, make sure you join the group. If you're in the group, make sure you put your name down on one of those 4 themes so that you can get involved in the 7-day challenge next week. Okay. I really am moving on to respected leaders do this daily. So I think when we think about respect, we know this, but we forget this. Respect is not something you demand. It's not something you can order somebody to respect you. Respect is something that you earn, right? I think we all know that. It's a lot harder to live it and believe it and feel it every day. We want our children to respect us. We want our employees to respect us. We will say things like respect your elders. But in reality, what we do, how we act, how we interact, how we behave is what creates the level of respect from other people. And what that is truly our character. And that's what we were talking about last week. We were talking about, developing our character as leaders. Are you an honest person? Are you a thoughtful person? Are you a compassionate person? I'm going to pull up my list from last week because I have a whole bunch of things. These are some of the effective leadership traits that are around character. Are you persistent? Are you inspiring? Are you strategic? Are you motivating? Are you optimistic, self-aware, confident, decisive? All of those things are your character. But your character is not defined by your intentions or your desires or the list that you write down in your journal or on a piece of paper. Your character is defined by your actions. It's what you do every day. And so it's defined by your conduct. So think of that. Character is defined by your conduct. Your character, who you are, how you show up, the way you interact with other people, the way people see you is your conduct. And it's that gets you the level of respect that you desire from your team. And when you get that level of respect, you have the ability to demand more of them, expect more of them, challenge them more, grow them more, use them to move your organization's vision and mission forward, as well as, take them and grow and develop them and move them into all of their potential. It's when you have that level of respect that they'll listen to you, that they will ask you questions, that they will come to you when they've screwed up and say, I made a mistake, can you help me fix it? I apologize. When they respect you, they will also acknowledge your mistakes and not judge you as harshly for them. They'll recognize that you're human too. When you have that level of respect, they're there with you in the ups and downs, through all of the challenges that we face, over the humps and bumps as you kind of move on. So the question is, how do you get that level of respect? And the answer, of course, is by developing your character by watching your daily conduct. So respect happens when you have a strong character. And that happens when you conduct yourself every single day in a way that people respect. Now, so this gets a little bit into your head, but think about it. It boils down to role modeling. What are you role modeling every day for your team? What's the person you're showing up as every day, in good times and bad? And that's a critical thing to think about. This isn't only about how you show up on good days and when you kind of, get all your ducks in a row and you put everything in order and you walk into staff meeting and you feel like you're on top of everything. This is how you show up when you don't have your ducks in a row and you show up in staff meeting and you're not organized and prepared, and maybe there's a crisis that's pulling you away. How do you show up then? Right? That's what character is all about. That's how you conduct yourself in that situation is what you get, what creates the level of respect you're looking for. So there are 3 things that I want you to think about doing every single day. And what I've done, I have a really neat guide sheet. I made a new guide sheet for you today. So when I do these Facebook Lives, I often have a guide sheet for you. Today's guide sheet is in the notes as well. Guide sheet number 32, I think we're on to. But it's a 5-day conduct challenge. And so what I want you to do is, your character is defined by your conduct. But again, it's not enough to say, I want to be this type of leader. I want to be a helpful leader who grows and inspires my team, and I want to make sure that they're reaching their potential. That's great to say that, but what do you do every single day to help inspire them to reach their full potential? So this guide sheet is a little printout that I've done. I don't know if you can see that little printout that you can cut out, put inside your daytime, or maybe put on your bulletin board or someplace where you're going to see it for 5 days. 5 days. I want you to focus on it for 5 days. And when you put this heightened awareness on these 3 questions for 5 days, what you're going to do is really start to think about what you do daily, your conduct, to create the character that you want that's going to get you the level of respect you desire from your team. I hope that makes sense. So it's these 3 questions I want you to ask yourself every day for 5 days, and then I actually want you to email me and tell me what insights you had, or what ahas you had, or what lessons you learned. So the first one, what did I role model for my team today? What did I role model for my team today? So you can start to think about, when I showed up in the morning, was I 5 or 10 minutes early? Did I show up late? Did I show up and I was grouchy when I showed up? Did I say hello to people when I walked in? Maybe I had something that I was engaged in the morning and I was really busy. How did I interact with people later in the day? Was my first interaction with people something that I was demanding of them, ordering them, giving them heck for something they did wrong? What was my first interaction of the day? Did I notice things that were going on, and did I tune into them, pick up on them, and then respond to them? So again, think about what you're role modeling. It's almost, if you go back to thinking about when we play charades and you're acting something out, and trying to get people to guess what it is you're doing, you want to think about kind of doing something like that during your day. Role modeling. You are modeling a way of being, you are modeling actions, you are modeling a character that you want the people you supervise to emulate, to model as well, to pick up, to do. So what are you doing? You have to stop and look at that. If you want people to be doing something, what are you doing? What are they seeing? And again, it's not what you're saying so much as what you're doing. You can say things like, it's really, really important that we, take the new people, give them really good orientations, and make sure that when somebody starts, they've got a really good handle on what they're supposed to do. And then you hire somebody and you throw them into a position and you quickly squish in their orientation and you just sign off a few papers and don't actually take the time to do it and respond to their questions, really give them a thorough orientation. That's words and actions. And you want those to be aligned. If you say it's important for us to give new employees a really thorough, in-depth orientation and you're sliding people through, you are not role modeling the way you want your team to be. So think about that. What did I role model for my team today? Second question, what lessons did my team learn via my conduct? So again, it's kind of similar to the role modeling, but slightly different. Think about, what do you want your team to learn? And I think one of the things that we often do is we think, I'm instructing, or I'm telling, or I'm ordering, demanding. But we're saying to the people, do this. It's like we say to our kids, don't bite your sister, and then you bite their arm because you don't want them to do it again. Okay, what did I just teach them, right? It's the lessons that they're learning via your actions more so than your words. What lessons did they learn today? And so again, if you screwed up and maybe you forgot a meeting, how did you then respond as a result of that? Did you blame somebody else? Oh my God, if somebody hadn't interrupted me, I wouldn't have missed that meeting. Well, what they learned is it's okay to, push responsibility onto somebody else. If you did something where you stepped back despite the chaos and the busyness of the day and slowed down and did a tiny little bit of a team building activity during lunchtime, what did the lesson they learned? What was the lesson they learned from you? The lesson they might learn is that this is a higher priority, and even though it's not a crisis or a fire, that we need to move things up to a higher priority sometimes, because it will never happen if we don't prioritize it, because it's not an urgent thing in front of our face. So what are the lessons they learned from you? And then the third question is, what have I done to help my team see their potential? So if you look at individuals on your team, do you take a moment during the day to think about, if they were reaching their full potential, what would they be doing? And how can I inspire them to get there? There's a quote I wanted to read you. I printed it off here so I didn't forget. I want to give it to you perfectly because I think it's really kind of neat. There are two ways of exerting one's strengths. One is pushing down, the other is pulling up. So there are two ways to exert your strength over someone. You can push them down and say, this is what you're supposed to do, and make sure you do it this way, and you're only doing this, and get it done by this time. Or you can pull people up. And there's no right way or wrong way all the time. There are ways when you need to put people in their place. There are times when you need to make sure they know what they're doing. But I want to see you the majority of the time be lifting people up, strengthening them, growing them, developing their skills. That's a quote by Booker T. Washington. So again, two ways to exert your strength: push down or pull up. So the question I want you to be asking yourself is, what have I done to pull my team up today? What have I done to grow them? How have I inspired them to reach their full potential? What is their full potential? So those are the three questions I want you to be asking yourself. What did my role model for my team today? What lessons did my team learn via my conduct? And what have I done today to help my team see their potential? So again, this is a really cute little print off. It even has little blue polka dots because I was playing this morning, having fun. So you can print this off, cut it out, put it in your day timer, put it on your wall or something. Do this for 5 days, and I challenge you to set a timer on your phone, because you will forget if you don't. Set a timer on your phone for 4:25 or whatever time works for you to quickly, this is like a 2 or 3 minute exercise, quickly look at these questions and go, what did I role model for my team today? What lessons did my team learn from my conduct? And what have I done to inspire or grow them to reach their full potential? Sit down at the end of the day. This is what respected leaders do. They think about how they are impacting their team. They think about what their actions, what their conduct is doing in the bigger picture. And they're looking at developing that respect, growing that respect, and earning that respect via their conduct. It's not enough to say, I want to be this type of person. You have to make sure that your that your actions match what you desire, that your list of words that you want to be, that character traits that you're developing in yourself, is also how you lead. If you want to be that respected leader every single day, you have to look in the mirror and say, how am I showing up? Because if you don't look in the mirror and say, how am I showing up, you're not getting a true reflection of what's going on. And what you're often seeing is this blurry vision of whatever fires and crises are in front of your face. So that's what I want you to do to make sure that you are becoming that respected leader. I want you to make sure that you sit down for 5 days, really look at how your conduct is impacting your team, and if you are growing and developing them, if you are encouraging them to learn some lessons from you, and if you are role modeling the way, then that's when you know that you are on track. So make sure you do that, and then when you get the guide sheet, do the 5 days, email me and tell me what you learned from the exercise. I really want to know. Quick reminder, in the Confident Women Leaders group, we are doing the 7-day challenge where we are strengthening our community. Make sure you join that challenge as well. And if you want to do more of growing your traits, developing your character as a leader, and you want some support and information and internal introspection on how to do that, make sure you check out the Leadership Circle. I will put a link in as well. The Leadership Circle profile is a 360 profile that I help you do, where you get that feedback from your peers, your colleagues, your boss, your board, the community you serve, and it gets compiled into a profile where you really get to look at how you show up, what your character is, what are the traits you are emulating in your leadership. Are they the ones you want? Are they the ones that are most effective for leadership? What are those underlying beliefs and assumptions that might be getting in your way? And how do you shift that all into growing and developing yourself to be the type of leader you want to be, having the impact you have? That's what the Leadership Circle profile does for you. It's attached to coaching. If you are interested, again, the link is in the notes. Check that out. Send me an email and we can talk more about if that's right for you. For the month of March, it is on sale, so great opportunity if you have those few dollars remaining that you have to spend before year end, and you want to look at something that's going to be really worthwhile of putting some dollars into. So that's your assignment today. Go get the guide sheet. Do the 5-day challenge where you are going to start to look at your conduct over 5 days to see if it's impacting your character so that you get that respect you desire as a leader. Make sure you join the Confident Women Leaders group and the challenge that we are doing next week. And start to really look at growing and developing yourself, because it's when you look at your character, look at your conduct, look at the impact you have on your staff, start to really take that intentional look, that conscious look at what's happening. That's, my dear, when you start to move from surviving to thriving in both your leadership and life. Make the rest of your day awesome.